South for about a year and a half now. We've covered over 6,000 miles in the South to talk about the war, basically challenge the narrative of war and share our version of what happened in Afghanistan and Iraq. We also try to create a platform for healing for veterans who want to hop on board and maybe go through the catharsis of telling their story over and over and creating something out of their strife and struggle. So that's basically how our group works. What we're doing right now is we're riding from New York City to D.C. And through the course of this ride, we're trying to raise touring bicycles because there's a lot of veterans who've contacted us who want to ride with us. They just don't have the resources to do so. So this is kind of a bike drive. We're not really looking for new bicycles. We don't want to buy fancy new stuff. We're looking for used bikes and used equipment, things that we can put our love into and build up and just build a small inventory of bicycles that are there and waiting when veterans call on us and ask if they can join.
Are you veterans?
Yes, I was a sergeant in the Army. I did 3 tours in Afghanistan between 2001 and 2004. And I was honorably discharged in 2004. Went to college for a little while, and then a series of things happened that activated me politically, and I've been on the road ever since.
Very good. Very good.
Jake, wait.
Take it away, Daddy.
Wait for the fire.
So we have 2 more people here as well. If they introduce themselves.
Come on.
I'm Russ. Rooter. From Fayetteville, Arkansas. I'm not a veteran. I was just moved by seeing Jacob at a fundraiser I was invited to speak at. And one of the key things that caught my attention was, what can I do? They asked the question, or for us to ask that question to ourselves. And I want to be an example of nonviolence, just to do what I can do. So I'm here and full support.
Are you from Arkansas too?
Yes. So I wore my shirt along with my name tag so everyone could.
I'm Jared Harden. I work with an organization called Civilian Soldier Alliance, and I joined the ride now, but I'm from Florida, and I met Jacob at the Iraq Veterans Against the War Convention in Austin in 2010, and we've been in communication ever since.
How many guys in the ride?
It has ranged from 2 to 13. The ride's a revolving door of college professors, activists, veterans, hobos, anyone who wants to jump on board. That we only have one rule, and that is you have to ask if you can come. We've never asked anyone to join us.
So how do we give you bicycles? If any of us have a bicycle we're not using?
Okay, so we're looking for a very specific type of bicycle, a touring bike. And what that is a bicycle that you can fit panniers and racks on, and it's made to ride long distances.
I got one, it's got heavy tires.
Really?
I changed the wheels for you. I'll give it to you.
Good.
It's good.
Oh,
It's
wow.
And Michelle as well.
Yeah, but mine's not a touring bike.
Well, if you've ridden 50 miles on it, then we can.
It's got 50. I changed the gears. I did put change to the 15 gear.
Yeah.
But it's not hill.
If it's a Cannondale, then we can turn it into.
Well,
Yeah. So basically, we already have 2 people here who have bicycles in this area.
Back on it.
Yes.
And there's
If you have panniers, you've got the whole kit and caboodle.
So if we have bikes so that you could customize and you could use the derailleurs from them, and you could use you're not interested in that? You're
Yes,
interested in the whole thing?
If you have parts that we can use that will be good for a touring bicycle, like clipless pedals, dropped handlebars, saddles, and derailleurs, that can be mailed to our hub in Northwest Arkansas. So on our website, operationawareness.org, we have the tab Bikes Not Bombs. If you click on that, it has another tab that says drop off and shipping info, and it outlines how to break down a bicycle and pack it into a box where you can get shipping boxes from, and what parts we need, and where an address to send them to in Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
So basically, if you need help in the shipping costs, most of the fundraising that we're doing from New York City to DC is to supplement that. But we are an autonomous group, we're not a 501c3, so if you can help with the shipping, that really helps us out a lot.
Okay, it's Operation,
Awareness.org.
If anybody needs help breaking down the bike, I can do it.
That's awesome.
Why are you not a 501c3?
Well, we're fiscally sponsored by a 501c3 in Northwest Arkansas, and we choose to stay small and autonomous for the mobility and to avoid having to have a tax status and deal with the administrative side of an organization. We are, basically the ride is the field organizing team for a larger project that we have. So that's why the ride itself will always stay autonomous, and it's something that we want to pop up everywhere. We're trying to inspire veterans and artists to hop on their bicycles in their own regions and do this type of work, and we don't want to have to go through the rigmarole and administrative process of everyone starting their own 501c3 under this chapter.
right.
So,
Jacob, could you tell us, like, some of the encounters or things that have happened to you on, that's 6,000 miles is a lot of miles, but maybe just to give us a flavor of the kind of encounters you've had or experiences you've had?
oh sure, I'll start off with how the ride started. What happened was my younger brother, Jordan George, received orders to deploy to Afghanistan in 2010. He was in the Arkansas National Guard. And that really hit me hard because there's a 9-year age gap between my brother and I. And he just turned 19. And I did my first tour in Operation Enduring Freedom when I was 19. So it was as if I was watching myself go back to war when I was 19 years old, almost 10 years later. And I shared a bunch of stories with him about my experiences that I'd never shared with him before, and we talked a lot about what he could do, and the ultimate decision was he should go AWOL. AWOL was better than, prison was better than Afghanistan. And I told him that I would ride my bicycle around the South with him and support, and we would tell everyone our story, because it's a story that many people in the South understand. Your brother, your mom, your dad, your sister getting sent off to war over and over. So we took off and just started telling people our stories. We're musicians too, so we use music and poetry to do that. And long story short, we wound up getting him chaptered out with a general discharge with honorable intent without a single day in jail in less than 6 months of taking direct action. And through the course of that, we received a lot of support from Northwest Arkansas. When we stood up, the whole community stood up with us and was like, okay, we're going to help you make this happen. Would send us care packages, did fundraising for us while we were on the road, would send people in cars to us to drop off bicycles and people who wanted to join us. It's amazing, and still to this day, they are our support network, Northwest Arkansas. And what we started to notice through doing this was that there's an amazing healing effect from riding your bicycle all day and telling your story over and over for veterans. So we just kept riding after we accomplished our goal with my brother, and we're still riding to this day and trying to take it to the next level. But for the most part, our message was really well received in the South. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but for the most part, almost every single person that we talked to about the war, by the end of the night, can agree that something's wrong with it, which was pretty amazing experience for us. And if the South doesn't support the war, who does? It was a big reality check for us
Really?
as we came
I'm
back
sitting
to
here going,
Arkansas.
really? Really? Kind of hard to believe.
So that you started 3 tours there in Afghanistan?
Uh-huh.
What was it that made you rethink this, that you didn't want your brother to go?
Well, there was a series of things that happened in Afghanistan that I just didn't understand until I got out and went to college. I came from a very small farming community, and the Ouachita Mountains in Arkansas, a straight up hillbilly, basically. And my worldview was about that wide. And I joined for all the reasons a typical poor Southern boy joins the military, you know. Once I got out, I went to school, learned how to articulate my experiences, and learned a little bit more about the history of the United States and history of Afghanistan. I slowly started to come to the conclusion that maybe the Afghan war isn't the greatest thing in the world. And then I started going down the path of nonviolence, thinking that, you know, nonviolence is possibly the only way to resolve violence. Like, there's no other way. I think Gandhi said something along those lines. He was asked if he thought nonviolence was really the best way to resolve violence. And Gandhi's response was no. Nonviolence is the only way to resolve violence. There is no other way. And principles like that started to ring true for me. And then I didn't know what to do, though. You know, I just, the war's messed up. What am I going to do? Then my brother received orders. And that's, within a day or two of that happening, you know, I knew what needed to be done.
Okay, any more questions? Okay. Well, Jacob, you're gonna play a couple of songs for us?
Well, I guess we can.
Okay.
Will y'all help us sing them if we play them?
Oh, sure.
Okay, all right. We can do it.